6 says, "They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He who goes out weeping, bears seed for sowing, shall come home with shouts of joy, bringing bundles of blessings with him." There are some seasons in our lives when we smile on the outside while crying on the inside. There are days when we faithfully do what God has called us to do, and yet we see very little evidence that our labor is making a difference. The psalmist gives us one of the greatest promises in all of Scripture. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. The psalm speaks of sowing. A farmer understands that a harvest never appears overnight. Before there is fruit, there must first be seed. Before there is abundance, there must be faithful planting. Sometimes your tears become the water that nourish the very seeds God has called us to plant. When a farmer plants seeds, he gives up something he could have kept. He buries what is valuable because he believes God will multiply what he cannot. God reminds us that every seed planted in faith is precious to him. There is something powerful about believers who continue serving God while their hearts are breaking or is broken. They continue worshiping even when they don't understand. They continue trusting even when answers have not yet come. That kind of faith honors God. The harvest is not based on our emotions. No, it is based on his faithfulness. We may not know when God will make it happen. We don't know. Or even how he would do it. But God promised that faithful sowing will never be wasted. Your prayers are not wasted. Your obedience is not wasted. Your sacrifice are not wasted. God sees every one of them. Keep living with integrity. Keep believing God's promise. Keep trusting him even when your eyes cannot yet see the harvest. Have you ever gone to a movie theater? You bought your ticket, find your seat, and settle in. But before the main movie begins, something else comes on the screen. These are previews, short scripts that gives you a glimpse of what's to come. They are not the movie. They're simply the prelude. Life with God often works the very same way. Sometimes we mistake the previews for the whole story. When we experience disappointments, unanswered prayers, delays, heartaches, or tears, and we think that's how the story ends. But God says you're only watching the prelude. Never confuse God's prelude with God's conclusion. What God begins in tears, he often finishes in joy. Oh, that makes me smile. A prelude is God's announcement that the story is not yet over. Psalms 126 reminds us that those who sow in tears will reap in joy. The tears come first, but they are not the final scene. The weeping is only preparing us for the harvest that God has already planned. Your struggles is not the featured event. Your waiting is not the whole story. Your final chapter is not filled with disappointment. They are simply God's prelude. Every tear you shed while remaining faithful is a seed planted in the hands of God. Every prayer you pray, every act of obedience, every moment you choose to trust Him, even when you don't understand. God is preparing you for what He is about to reveal. Your weeping may endure for a night, but the joy of the Lord will always see you through. The psalmist reminds us the joy cometh in the morning. Morning is more than a time on the clock. It represents a new season, a fresh beginning. God has already appointed your morning. So stay in position. Don't walk out too soon. The best part of the story hasn't come yet. The God who allowed the tears has already written the joy. What you're living through today may be God's way of preparing your heart for what He's about to do tomorrow. The God who permitted the waiting has already planned the breakthrough. Keep trusting God. The prelude are almost over. The wait is almost over, and the main feature is about to begin. Let me leave you with my closing thought. Don't judge your life by the preview or by the movie critics. Your critics don't know the story or how the story is going to end. Only the author knows that. Your tears are not the end of your story. Every tear you have cried has been seen by God. Remember, by our God, not one tear has fallen without His notice. The same God who remembers every tear also promised a day when every tear will be forever erased by His own hands. As Revelation declares, He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. So don't let today's tears convince you that your story is over. Your weeping is only God's prelude. Your joy is on the way. Your harvest is being prepared. And God, who has carried you through every season, will one day personally wipe away every tear you've ever cried. God is still writing your story. And sometimes His greatest scenes often comes after the hardest moments. Until next time, this is Lady Cassandra Molden, encouraging you to make each day a positive one. God bless you.